Hello Zoe, today is January 17th, 2015, and this past week was finals week. But I'm not going to talk about that. Well, finals, exam, I had 2 finals and a midterm, it was exam week, but I'm not going to talk about that. There wasn't school yesterday, Friday, and there won't be school on Monday, but I'm not going to talk about that either. What I am going to talk about is that last night at services, I talked about my experience lobbying in Washington, D.C. I decided that tell you what I said. It's going to be slightly different than what I actually said because I made up half of what I actually said over there. So, who knows what this will actually turn out to be. First, we went to Senator Burr's office. I think that it's safe to say that we all felt a little awkward. We met with one of his staff people who was polite enough, and group by group we told him issues from voting rights to LGBTQ rights to international women's rights. The staff person commented after each of our speeches and told us how Senator Burr had been supporting this issue or not supporting it or why he would support it or whatever. Afterwards we got a picture with the staff person and then we left. And from there we walked to Senator Hagan's office. We were more confident now, more sure of ourselves. We had done it already. We met with 2 of her staff people. They weren't just polite, they were friendly and welcoming. They told us a bit about themselves, how they got into that office, what they were going to do now that she wasn't getting reelected. And, well, just as before, each group presented and spoke, and the staff people commented, and they even took notes about what we were saying. They agreed with us and told us how Senator Hagan agreed with what we were saying, and, how she supported these things, and how even though she wasn't coming back, she was still a politician. This is her job. She can still do things. She'll be back eventually. And when we had all spoke, they took us into the hallway for a picture, and we said our goodbyes, and then we left. It was time to come back, to come home. I don't know if they pay attention to this, but I pay attention to this, the way people act, how they change. Weren't exactly the same. We were different than when we were when we left. And the writing and the revising and the practicing, the presenting of our speeches and the trials and the work, we grew. A lot of what we did there ultimately we ended up doing by ourselves. And I don't think most of us knew how to do that yet, and I don't think we still fully understand it now. But we did learn something. We learned that not everyone will agree with you, but not everyone will disagree with you either. But either way, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if they agree with you or if they disagree with you. It doesn't make what you say any less important. Everything that you do has value. Whether you know you can't win the argument because, well, can't, or you know there's no point in saying what you're saying because they agree with you already, it still carries meaning. What you do matters anyway. We the people, we are the people. What you do matters. Goodbye, Zoe.